What you are about to experience is out of this world. Politics, history, and of course, a lot of entertainment. It's time to rock it with the Docket.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Kyle, Dockery with the Dockery Docket. We are here with America's favorite show, Debate Review, the show where I watch the debate so then you don't have to. I'm excited to be here, and I hope that you are excited to be here as well. And if you are excited to be here as well, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so then you never miss one of my videos. So ever since I have been doing these different debate reviews that involve Donald Trump, I have said the same thing over and over and over again. Trump needs to not be so aggressive. Let the other person talk, and then strike his opponent when it is his turn. Now, this was especially important because for this debate, Trump was going to go into the lion's den, as this debate was hosted by CNN. This debate was going to have different rules, as they were implementing a new microphone mute system, as after they answered their question, they were cut off, and if they spoke, it was harder to hear them. Before this debate even took place, it seemed like all the advantages pointed to Joe Biden. It seemed like this debate was going to be like all the others. Trump arguing with the moderators and Joe Biden or anyone else who's on stage, which leads to Joe Biden looking better because of it. However, shockingly, CNN did a very good job with this debate. The moderators seemed to be very neutral, as they stopped both candidates from going over their time. They asked good questions, and even cutting off the mics didn't even affect the debate that much. There were a few times that Donald Trump sort of threw in a word, or Biden threw in a word, but it wasn't the end of the world. The moderators were very good at stopping that and getting right back on track. Most of the debate, all the moderators had to say was, "Thank you, President Trump," or "Thank you, Joe Biden," and then they would stop. However, there was a major difference between the two candidates. To me, Joe Biden looked absolutely terrible, as he looked like a ghost that didn't look well. He looked like a sick ghost. As actually during the middle of the debate, there were some rumors floating around X that Joe Biden had a cold. However, I think that it is more than just a cold and something more than a stammer or a stutter. Joe Biden is in decline, and we can see it in the very first time that he stumbled and paused for a very long time, which led to Trump to take a swing at Joe Biden. Take a look at this.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security.
It doesn't matter if you like Trump or hate Trump. He just sounds way better than Joe Biden because Joe sounds like, well, an old, raspy horse man. He doesn't have good communication skills and gets confused very easily, which means that Trump was able to run circles around him and get in some more zingers. Here was probably the best moment of the night after responding to Joe Biden.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it.
I don't know what he said, and I don't think he knows what he said either, was a great line, and once again, Trump sounded better than Biden. There were so many times when I was writing about this debate that I wrote that Joe Biden was stumbling, or he was stumbling over words, or he was mumbling, and honestly, it is just sad to see. In the 2020 debates, he still stumbled a little bit, but he was able to get the message across. Here in this debate, sometimes I'm not even sure what on earth Joe Biden is even talking about. Take a look at this.
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in and his administration, kill three American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
Honestly, Joe Biden was not on his A game during this debate. And you could see that instead of Joe Biden talking about his policies or the things that he wants to do as president, he attacks Donald Trump with the same talking points as before that have all been debunked. Joe had a good moment here, talking about how Trump claimed that veterans were losers and suckers. Just take a look at this.
I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his four-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it.
You can see here that Joe Biden is very aggressive. This is a good moment for Joe Biden as it caught Donald Trump off guard, and it was a good statement. However, this story is sort of a he said, she said sort of story, and there's a bunch of anonymous sources that claim that Trump said this, so we can't really tell if it was true or not. Then later on in the debate, Joe Biden mentions that Trump claimed that there was going to be a bloodbath if Biden wins, which was once again taken out of context. I made a whole video about that, but take a look at this.
And they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out, and now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Then, of course, Joe Biden tries to go for the jugular, talking about the very fine people's hoax that was just debunked by Democrat-leaning Snopes. Here's Joe Biden talking about that.
People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. They spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones," he said, "I think they're fine people on both sides." What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people?
All of these things would have been great moments for Joe Biden if all of them weren't lies that were spread by the media. You can see how passionate that Joe Biden is about these certain issues, but time and time again, they have been debunked. Now, Joe may have seemed to have an off night, and maybe he did have a cold or something. However, there were moments in this debate where he shined, as there was a moment where Joe went on the attack, calling Trump a convicted felon. Take a look at this.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on.
Joe Biden kind of stumbles here, but this was still a good attack by Biden. This continues later on when Joe Biden was talking about how Trump has the morals of an alley cat. Take a look at this.
The crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one.
Talking about how many women Trump has to pay and how many charges he's up against is a good attack from Joe Biden. However, the problem with Joe Biden this entire night is that he was not able to articulate it well to really make it stick, which hurt Joe Biden badly. It hurt Joe Biden more than it hurt Donald Trump. Now, I won't lie to you. I am biased. You all know that I like Trump, but I think without a doubt this was his best debate performance ever. Honestly, it looked like I was watching a new Trump. He was cool, calm, and collected. and didn't let things get under his skin like he did in the past. He stayed on message the entire night and didn't even interrupt Joe Biden while he was talking, which was absolutely huge. Now, for this debate, Trump's biggest point was to go after Joe Biden for A, illegal immigration, and B, the wars that he started. Here is Trump going after Joe Biden for the Russia war and also the withdrawal in Afghanistan, which was very good. It hit Joe Biden hard. Take a look at this.
I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never.
Trump also did something that I found very interesting. He flipped the narrative around January 6th from a day that was absolutely terrible to a day where America was actually great. Take a look at this.
On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people.
This is an interesting argument that I'm not sure that the independents or Democrats will believe, but it is still interesting to watch someone take something that so many people see in a negative light and turn it around into something great, saying, my presidency was better than yours. Now, it wouldn't be a good presidential debate if there wasn't a little bit of controversy, right? As CNN debate moderator Dana Bash asked a simple question about black unemployment and how black families have struggled and how each candidate will address different problems in the African American community. Joe Biden goes on the defensive and claims that he has done a great job for black families. Take a look at this.
They acknowledge he made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two, the wages of black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number three, we're providing housing for black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporations that collude to keep people out of their houses.
Trump then goes after Joe Biden for starting the inflation that is killing African Americans and also Hispanic Americans. Along with that, Donald Trump also pointed out the idea that Joe Biden's open borders are hurting black jobs and Hispanic jobs. Just take a look at this.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right, it's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost of food where it's doubled and tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him. The fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Now, honestly, I thought this was a good argument from Trump. Inflation is bad, and it is hurting average Americans. And maybe there are people that are coming over the border that are taking jobs from American citizens. The controversy here is that when Trump said black jobs, the Democrats are thinking that he is talking about low-wage jobs, that African Americans only work these low-wage jobs and are being replaced by illegal immigrants. As Derek Johnson, the president and CEO of the NAACP, claimed, There is no such thing as a black job. That misinformed characterization is a denial of the ubiquity of black talent. We are doctors, lawyers, school teachers, police officers, and firefighters. The list goes on. He continued by saying, a black job is an American job. It's concerning that a presidential candidate would seek to make a non-existent distinction, but the decisive nature of his comment is not surprising from Donald Trump. Now, personally, I think that it is racist to assume that when Trump said black jobs, that people instantly thought that he meant low-wage jobs. And if we are going to sit here and claim that calling black jobs or Hispanic jobs is somehow racist, then why on earth did we ask a question about black unemployment? Isn't that racist as well? In my humble opinion, I think Trump was just trying to answer the question about African Americans and the jobs that they are doing that could be taken by someone else. The question was about African Americans. So why would he say, well, they're taking away white jobs? People would probably get upset about that too. He wasn't talking about low-wage jobs because Derek Johnson is right. A black job is an American job that should be worked by an American that has entered this country legally. That's what Trump was trying to say. Then, of course, there was another controversy that took the debate by storm over who is more fit to be the next president of the United States. Trump claims that he is the best for the job by saying this.
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
I honestly love how confident Trump is with these different cognitive tests. He didn't just pass them or did well on them, he totally aced them, 100%, not even a lick of failure. There is definitely an argument to be made that Trump has a lot more stamina than Joe Biden. We have all seen Joe walk around, fall down, and go in circles on stage. But now in that statement, Trump mentions that he won 2 club championships, and that Joe Biden couldn't even hit a golf ball 50 yards. I have never seen Joe Biden hit a golf ball, but I will say that it is true. However, Trump attacked Joe's golf game, and Joe could not be silenced about that, and he had to attack back. Take a look at this.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I had, you know, how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
21
turn
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific.
Okay, I think Joe Biden and Donald Trump need to make a deal that if the election is tied at 269 electoral votes, that they do a driving match to determine who the next president is. Then you get the bickering back and forth, which was hilarious to some, but scary to others. It's hilarious for Joe Biden to call Trump a child, or for Trump to claim that Joe Biden's biggest lie was about his golf swing or what his handicap was. But there are some people that look at this moment and say, is this really the only 2 options that we have for president? 2 people that are arguing about their golf game. Is there anyone that is below the age of 70 that can run this nation? People are really concerned with Joe Biden, but they are also concerned with Trump as well. And it is really interesting to talk to average people about the debate, as most people told me that Trump did better, and that Joe Biden stumbled a lot, but they still don't like Trump. Some people even claim that Trump lied the whole time. There are even rumors from the Democratic establishment that they want to somehow replace Joe Biden with someone else because he looks so bad and old. It honestly makes you feel bad for the guy. You almost wish that he could just go off and retire, but no, he is stuck running for president again. And if he wins and gets another term, At the end of it, he will be 84 or 86. Can you imagine what kind of crap our country will be in if that happens? So I do think that the Democrats right now are scrambling hard to find a replacement because they are so scared that if they don't, then Donald Trump is going to have an easy victory, maybe even a landslide. But the replacement of Joe Biden will just have to be discussed on the next episode of the Dockery Docket. And until then, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.